This bloody chair, Liz. No, it's not working. Clippers spray. Hairdresser's clipper. Oh, it smells like a tin. Ugh. Hello, boys and... It's still squeaking. Hello, boys and girls. Shall we get straight started? Straight started. You can tell I'm on one today.
We'd like to say that in our opinion it is not suitable for children or for those of you who may have a nervous disposition.
I need cards so I can make notes for our vacation blog. Hello, how are you today?
Hello, how are you?
What a great day, huh?
Hello,
And I need scotch tape for my bifocals.
I think they call it cello tape.
Cello tape, all right, cello tape, cello tape. Where's the cello tape? Oh, see, can you see the cello tape? Oh, it's right in front of my nose. Ha. Oh, peekaboo.
Good morning.
Good morning. We've talked the whole night through.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Well, what can I say? I was going to do a show on food for thought today. I've got all the bits and pieces ready, and I thought I need to do a recap. Geez, recap. I've got it all written down here. I've only took some short notes. Denton. The Green Party got it. Now, if I was Denton, and I said this last week, I'd be pretty well peed off with everybody that went there. I tried to find some good clips where Reform went there and said, we are here as Reform to help Denton, do this for the people. No, it just was a political football, wasn't it? And good on them for losing. They came second. But Nigel Farage said it was a win. That's the first time in history I've ever seen a loser win. You see what I'm saying? It's just all political. It's just got two playing with the numbers. And the Green Party winning. I did have one good thought on the Green Party. And this is a good stat, actually. Legalise prostitution. Now, they don't. What, Les? No. I just mean because all these people, all men and women, that get used and abused by pimps, and if you legalise it, it would take them away from the streets and the street corner and actually have prostitute houses. Prostitution is legal in New Zealand, where I am right now. It's legal. It's not a problem. We don't have the same problem as the UK. So that, on that side, Dave to his mates, you know, Zach, I think that's a good one. So the Greens got in. Wow. Have you seen that girl? They're so airy fair. And what? How did they get in? Because the Muslims stuck together. You can call it a family vote. You can call it anything you like. White people, English people, normal English white people could do the same. Tell all their family to vote exactly the same. Couldn't they? They could have done. So I got in my notes here. 49% of Denton actually bothered turning out. When you actually see some honest interviews by people on their phones, which I'm going to get to in a little while. Oh, Jesus, your phone. So when I get to that, you'll see that 49% of people, as I just said, did vote. Oh, Liz, I'm losing a plot. Because stats on stats, mate. You know, we only do one take here. Where was I? Yeah, so I couldn't find anything on ordinary people from the party. I've lost the plot now. I'm back with you. You see where I've gone now. So a lot of people were being interviewed from people on their phones. I'm back, Liz, I'm back. And I basically turned around and said, look, we got sick of all you people coming from all around the country trying to barrage and bombard us with vote us, vote Greens, vote Labour, vote this, don't vote Tories, because what have they got, about 900 votes, something silly like that. That's scary for the Tory party, even though it's a safe seat in Labour. And if you look at it realistically, they're all Labour voters. They could not in conscience vote for Reform, because that's just too much from left to right. So let's just do a Green vote, which ain't going to make much difference. Be very careful on that. So let's move on, shall we? Came back in the end, eh? Did I, Liz? Glasses time. Now we have to move on to Peter Mandelson. Again, I'm not going to go on what he did and all that stuff. We knew what went on. And, you know, since our last show, we've had Andrew, now him. And all them emails with Mandelson suddenly went missing. Just disappeared. Now, if on my computer someone wanted to have a look and realistically go through my deleted files, I learned 30 odd years ago when my brother-in-law deleted a lot of the programming off my computer, and I went and saw this guy and he says nothing is ever deleted, ever. Right? And it isn't. It takes the first letter off everything and then it just disappears. Right? You could get them back if you want to, but a bit like some of the Epstein files, they just disappeared. You get it, eh? And then Bill Clinton, he says after his 24 trips there, I did a piece on him last year or the year before, as I said before, with that young masseuse, with Epstein on his private jet, and he said, I saw nothing. Now bear in mind, this is the same guy that said he didn't have sexual relations with Lewinsky, poor 18-year-old girl. I've read her autobiography. You want to read that? That's really damning. That's the Clinton family really, really went down on her. Like she went down on Clinton, eh? No, brown cow. And basically, he's a lying pig, eh? And so is she. She's a liar. She said, I knew nothing. Did you know he went over, was it 17 times? Epstein went 17 times. Hey, it's going, eh? It's the squeak's going. That Clippers stuff is working. And anyway, he went 17 times. She said, I never knew nothing. She was the first lady. She's the first lady, for God's sake. So anyway, two lying people. I'll just call them lying people. So should we play the clip? I think the first one I've missed, and it will be of the Greens, I think. There you go. That's of the Greens. We'll bypass that. So, thank you for voting Greens. Yep, you get it, eh? I get it. Everyone got it. And yes, what a numbnut he is. So, now, I'm going to go on to what's happening now. Have you seen Jim Carrey? This is, honestly, this is nuts. This is going around everywhere, so I'm just going to play it. This is Jim Carrey. They're saying he's now a clone. Honestly.
Did you notice which hand Jim Carrey used to sign his autograph? There are 3 details that suggest he's not the real Jim Carrey. First, he used his right hand to sign autographs for fans, but it's well known that the real Jim Carrey is left-handed, and he himself has confirmed this in interviews. Whether writing or casually holding things in public, Jim Carrey always uses his left hand, as it's an ingrained habit. The impersonator might have learned the appearance, but overlooked this small detail. Secondly, his appearance is drastically different from Jim Carrey's. The real Jim Carrey has his signature neat, short hair with a relaxed facial structure that exudes energy, even without exaggerated expressions. This person, on the other hand, has messy long hair that doesn't suit him, a stiff, unnatural face, lacks his signature facial contours, and even appears abnormally puffy. There's no trace of Jim Carrey. Lastly, his pupil color is very different from Jim Carrey's. Jim's eyes are deep brown with a distinct clarity in any lighting condition, which is a natural, identifiable feature of his. This person's eyes, however, are blue, and under the strong stage lights, they even have an unnaturally translucent quality. This is one of the hardest traits for an impersonator to fake in a major giveaway. What do you think about this?
So I've cut off the guy that done that. There's lots of it. It's everywhere. So he's had them cheek fillers that all these men have. Beckham, he's had them done. Lots of people are having all these fillers. They look flippin' stupid, they look stupid, don't they? They look really, really stupid. But they said his eyes are translucently the wrong colour. And look, because this all stems back to the Illuminati, and he went on a show and he said all that, and they reckon they got rid of him and then replaced him with something. Look, if they wanted to just do this, rather than bring on a clone, they'd just kill him. Put him on an aeroplane like they did John Denver and make him just go into the side of a mountain, for God's sake. See, this is leading to later on our social media and our phones. So this is big news on the internet about Jim Carrey and his look. Shall we look at something else? Hey, get that, Les?
It's good to be here.
It's very warm atmosphere. It's very friendly, and it's a great vibe. It's been an amazing feeling having so many people care about you. It's a gift.
And to know that people love him just as much as we did, and they're here giving us so much grace and just support, and it's beautiful.
I did mention on the GB thread line, I don't normally troll, but I did. I said 100 years ago they'd be in a circus and under the freak show. So Jim Carrey with slight change of the eyes, which they're not when you look, if you looked at the clip closely, and they said about he's clean shaven, then they put a clip in of him in a beard. They are freaky, eh? They are freaky. I don't care that they're mourning in public, because that's what the Osbournes do. Anything for a clickbait, click rate, whatever, right? That's just them. And then Robbie Williams came on and said, I love that family, and oh, they're all so superficial, it makes me bloody well sick. So that's freaky. So they're not actually going on about, why the hell do you look like that? What the hell wrong is with you girls? They look like they're from another planet. If I believed there was aliens in charge of this planet, I said they were part of it. I don't, but if there was. It's just insane that no one is saying you're in a public eye and the youngsters look to you and you look like this. They're on that drug. Now, what doctor in their right mind, because I've got one of my clients on it, but she is grossly overweight and it is helping her. She's dropped 17 kg, but she had to be overweight in the first place. These people aren't overweight and they're still taking the damn stuff. It's an injection once a week and you can drop it, but you go on maintenance. They're not on maintenance. Oh, there's other clips of her, Osbourne, the young Osbourne, walking past down into the crowd and everyone's clapping, and I'd be going, look at her scapula, you can practically see it through it. Look at her rib cage. Do you know what I mean? But no, they're all going, oh bless her, because their dad died. We've all had a dad die. Get over it, get on with it. Fuck, Lip and Nora. So, it's all bonkers, isn't it? What am I up to? Oh, jeez, I'm running over time. I'm sorry, Les, I'm running over time again. Let's get on to the main topic, shall we? I hope I've got it right. Hey.
Right, well, I'm joined by Will Godley, who is on a protest. He's not actually on the protest, he's at the protest in central London. Will, what can you tell us? What's going on there?
Well, Nana, it's less of a protest and more of a celebration here outside Downing Street. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people gathered, Iranian flags, Israeli flags, American flags flying, chants going at the moment, and also speeches being made on stage. Someone who has just come off stage is Richard Tice, Reform UK's chair.
I'm going to pause there. I got it a little bit wrong again. I should have rehearsed. I don't like rehearsing. Him. He's from this other new party. Now, just bear with me on this. See what he says. He starts off all right, but he turns into this new nasty politician that they're all turned into.
And Richard, why did you want to be here today?
To show our solidarity with the brave people of Iran who are trying to get rid of this terrible regime. The courage here, but also, in a sense, to commemorate the courage of those who paid the ultimate sacrifice in recent weeks and before. And you compare that courage here to the cowardice, the gutlessness of the Prime Minister, the Defence Secretary of this woeful government, who yesterday distanced themselves from the United States and Israel. They couldn't this morning confirm that they supported the action. I mean, it really is pathetic. We have been humiliated.
Right. The reason I paused to mention that was the modern politician. There's no lull to these people, eh? There's no lull. Where he spent more time, it goes on and on, about 5 minutes, about the latest government. Yeah, I don't like the latest government either. But this is more important. This is Iran. I'm going to get to where all this started from in a minute. He spent literally more time putting down the government now than actually talking about the poor people that are dying. Any war, it's only the innocent people. And here we have our NZ News saying these people died. Soldiers. Soldiers, they're paid to kill. They're paid to be armed. And they're paid to go to war. And they're paid to protect. You are not protecting when you're bloody halfway around the world, are you? all right, if it was in their homeland. So rather than going, all these innocent people, you've most probably seen some of the clips, because the media today just glorify it, don't they, and just see this little rocket going, and then there's this massive explosion, which look really good, almost CGI these days, eh? But do they talk about the innocent men, women and children in them buildings? No, they don't. And this guy was just showboating, wasn't he? For himself and his party. It's disgraceful. So let's just start on the history of Iran. No one's talking about it, right? So I had a little dig. Didn't need to go far. And I posted this on Facebook and only 2 people liked it, right? I've got over 1,000 followers. I don't know why. I told you I don't even promote this stuff on Facebook. But 2 people, and I know these 2 people, and that does affect them anyway. So let's have a look. This is what I posted, and here's the picture of the guy. He was then the Prime Minister in 1953. This picture was when, I think it was took in 1965-ish, right? Because I haven't got that information here, right? But the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, alongside the UK's MI6, helped orchestrate a coup in 1953 to overthrow Iran's democratically elected Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh, someone like that. Sorry, bad name. And then I put below. Now after this is me. Now after decades of a shit show, an American government go in as the victors. Funny old world. So the CIA and MI6 helped overthrow an elected man, Prime Minister, turn the country into chaos, which has got worse and worse and worse. Don't forget, America helped fund some of what went on in Iran, and now they're overturning it as the great victors, and they're going, Donald Trump went in there, that's wrong. I don't say it's wrong, because what's gone on there has been a show for a long time, has it not? A lot of filth has come out of that country, right? But it goes back to the beginning. Why is no one talking about, hang on guys, but your 2 countries helped overthrow a bloody democratic leader and turned it into chaos, and it's just over the years, the decades, got worse and worse and worse. There you go. My spin on it is common sense. Do your research. That is true. That did happen, and you can go anywhere and see it. Now, I'm going to move on. I need to. I've been having a lot of problems with social media lately. I will just run the clip first, and then we'll have a chat what's going on, or what is good and what is bad about us on our phones. All right.
There is something strange happening in the modern world. We have faster internet, better medicine, more comfort, more convenience, and yet many people secretly miss the old world, not because it was easier, because it was not, and not because it was safer, because it was not safe. It is because something felt different. If you ask people what they miss, they rarely say it clearly. They will talk about simpler times. They will say life felt slower. They will say people were more connected. They will say things felt more real. But what does that actually mean? The old world had limits. You could not reach anyone instantly. You had to write letters. You had to wait. Conversations were slower and more meaningful. When you met someone, you were fully there. There was no phone vibrating in your pocket, no notifications stealing your attention. Today, we are connected to everyone, but rarely present with anyone. The old world also had stronger communities. People lived close to family. Neighbours knew each other. You did not just follow someone online. You showed up at their house, you shared meals, you argued face to face, you solved problems together. Now we have thousands of digital connections, but many people feel more alone than ever. There is also something deeper. In the old world, life had a clear rhythm. Work ended when the sun went down. Shops closed. Letters took days. News travelled slowly and your brain had time to rest. Today, the world never turns off. Markets trade overnight. Emails arrive at midnight. News updates every second. Social media feeds never end. You are always slightly behind, always catching up, always scrolling. Your mind never fully relaxes. People miss the old world because it had natural boundaries. Work was separate from home. Public life was separate from private life. Now everything is mixed together inside one small glowing screen. There is also the feeling of permanence. Old photos were physical, letters were saved in boxes, friendships were built over years. Buildings were made to last. Skills were learned slowly. People committed to things for decades. Now everything feels temporary. Nothing feels stable. Of course, the old world had serious problems. It had inequality, limited rights and harsh conditions. Nobody truly wants to return to disease and poverty. But what people secretly miss is not the hardship. They miss the depth, the slowness, and the feeling that life was something you lived fully, not something you constantly tried to keep up with.
You get it? So, the biggest problem they're saying is in, like, kids. I'm reading off my phone, ironic, eh? But I'll go back to the beginning. I use this mainly as a tool. I don't talk to people on the phone. Very, very, very rarely. I will either use my computer or I will FaceTime people, right? I don't, if people just ring, I do not, I'll FaceTime back. I literally use this as a tool. I use it when I use as Gaz's bar, when I do my little catch up from week to week, and I use this phone rather than edit down. It just does it live, boom, done. Right, I do my research on here, but I also use my computer. FaceTime, I know, and FaceTime on average in Western society is around about 4.5 hours a day, 4.5 hours. I do limit the minute I leave the house. I switch on my Spotify through, listen to music through my helmet. And yes, someone mentioned this is an all-in-one tool now, but it's not that, it's the flicking. So the flicking here, it's the dopamine fix, isn't it? Dopamine fix, it doesn't mean you're necessarily addicted, you can't literally leave it alone, unlike a lot of the kids, because a lot of the kids, their prefrontal cortex is still not totally developed, and that's where it's hitting. And it's that kids are the big concern. In adults, adults aren't immune. Common patterns. Are you in? We'll bring up this little thing now. I put together on my ChatGPT on here, common patterns, reflex phone checking. I would definitely say a lot of my mates, when I would go out with scooter mates and we'd sit around a table and their phones would be face up and they would be constantly either checking them, on them. The only time I literally would pick my phone up was take a photograph and put it back down, or I literally in the end got absolutely bored shitless, which means they were bored shitless as well. But no, every time there's a ping, gotta pick it up, right? I put it in my pocket. If it vibrates, tough poo. Doom scrolling at night. A lot of people do that. My missus does that sometimes, just sits there and scrolls and waits for something. Reduce deep work capacity. So with work, I see that in the gym, and we'll just talk about the gym as well. I walk in the morning, I grab my coffee before I start, nice black one, that's all. Very weak, but black nonetheless, because I don't have breakfast. And I sit there and I'm a people watcher. I always have, my whole life I've watched people. You can't be a photographer without looking at people, can you? And, well, unless you like taking pictures of the countryside or goats and animals and things. And anyway, so I just see all the kids just walk in like this. They don't even look up. And now I'm starting to see the adults doing exactly the same thing. A friend of mine, I'm not even going to mention names, male or female, before she even starts work, even though she started work, she'll sit there on her phone for half an hour because she's getting her dopamine fix. It is the slot machine, isn't it? It's the constant trying to get a little bit back. Needing for background noise as well. So, is it a dopamine crisis? Myth. Phones are draining all your dopamine. That's not biologically accurate. Of course not, you can't. You just want more and more and more. So the reality, we are training our brains to expect constant stimulation, avoid boredom, prefer fast reward over slow reward. I get in that. My brain has always been a little bit like that, and I have to get this show. I have to, you know, get it all together. Hence why I like digital. Back in the day when I was reel to reel, it was so slow. My brain wants, when I've got it and it's in my head, I've got to get it out now. 50 years ago, so long gaps between simulation, boredom common. Now because you had boredom, you created things. You get that? You literally created things because you were bored. You didn't just get there and go bored and do nothing. You listened to music, you drawed, or I don't know, you maybe went out running, or in my case when I was younger, out on my bike with my mates, and we learning new skills. How many pedals ran for a wheelie on a push bike, nicking other people's push bikes, you name it. But we never got really bored because we always found something new. The rewards were delayed. Today, instant stimulation on demand. And that's again a problem with a show like this, because it's not instant bang, 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 bye. And whew, that was good. Flick to the next one. You've got old school here. Very little waiting. Constant novelty, yes. Your brain adapts to the environment it lives in. You're living in this. Right? So, how can you fix it? All right, let's have a little look, shall we? Phone-free mornings. I do not pick, if I can help it, my phone up, unless it's either my wife or my daughter. Then it might be a family problem, so I don't touch the phone other than that. I see in the gym, I'd say even the PTs, they're on and off their phone all the time. And you can't say they're looking at programs. You might be, but I purposely have an old school book for every single one of my clients and write stuff down. So I haven't got that distraction. All right. So I write all their programs down and we write them out as we go along what they're doing. All right. So scheduled boredom. My God. Absolutely. I get bored. That's how I start the show. I'm sitting in my old Gaz's barn. I'm like, oh, I need to do something. And I was getting wound up over the news and what's going on, all the rubbish. And that's how I started doing this. Duncan and Gary's Sunday workshop, which I do, and now the new Garage show. It comes out of boredom, doesn't it? You know, you create stuff because you're bored. I don't sit on this phone, I'm bored, and then go, I'm not bored anymore. So anyway, are we hooked at the dopamine debate? Or is our brain versus phone, who wins? I'd say at the moment our phone is winning, because the algorithm is getting better and better and better. And on this poster, the brain loves phone hits. It does. And I don't think I need to say anything else about that. I'll give you my experiences. So how things have gone. I used to have friends where, like you did back in the old days, well, I'll see you next Friday down a pub, and you did, and you were down the pub and you met them there. Or if they didn't, someone would have said, oh no, I rang him, he said he's not coming tonight, but you knew somewhere. Now you've got to be in an app. I've got to be in an app to catch up with what friends are doing in this country, and I decided, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to become an app, because what you do as a friend and a friend and a friend, then another friend adds someone else that you don't know, and then someone else and someone else, then there's always one or two that sticks their head up in a group, isn't there, that tries to be the new dominant ones. We'll do this, we'll do that. And I'm like, who are these people? But now for me to catch up with my actual mates, I've got to be in this app with other people I don't even know. So I'm not doing it. And I decided, if your friends are not good enough to actually personally get in touch with you and go, hey, do you fancy go? And not the, we're going out, do you want to come along? No, I'm not having that, because that means they've already talked in the group. Oh, better ask Gary. I'm not having it, and I'm not doing it. I am not becoming part of this slavery, this phone culture, where even us in our 60s are now trapped in this. I'd rather have no mates than have a lot of friends in a group and then only one or two that I actually get on with and like. I'd rather not bother at all. You get that? The gym, again, I'm going back to the gym. The youngsters are worse than the adults, but the adults are starting to catch up. Walk into the gym, phone's already at the get on a machine, and I'll sit on it before they've even done any exercise. They're already on their bloody phone. The other day, this guy, I was doing some core and I was waiting to get on the captain's chair. It's a Roman chair, captain's chair, sit up thing, and you do leg lifts and stuff. And next to it was a decline. And I just finished the set and he was standing on top of the captain's chair doing this. I felt like going over. I've already had 2 complaints about me this year because I dared to kick back. And I felt like going over, say, when you're finished doing your rep on your set on your phone, can I just jump in? And I thought, no, 2 complaints so far, 2 complaints so far, because gym culture is changing. And I just went, right, I'll go on the decline. So I did some leg lifts and some scissors and all this other stuff. And I did 5 sets. He's still there, he done 1 set, knees up. Brother Brown, knees up, Mother Brown. Just his knees up, helping a bit of core. 1 set and I'd done 5. I walked away and did leg extension, just a little bit further down the gym. I still see him, still on his bloody phone. What he just did was a complete waste of time. So 10 minutes he did 1 set, but that's becoming a problem in gyms. Phones. Now you can't say I'm banning we want to ban phones in a gym. A, because people go, I like music, so I've got to have my phone with me. I do have big headphones on, don't have the ones that go straight in your ear because you're frying your eardrums, right? So I have the big ones that stick out, and people know not to talk to me anyway. The minute I put them on, keep out my way. I do not want to talk about work. But you got the other side, people put them down and they got them somewhere and they're doing some exercise from an app on a phone, or a PT might have given their program and they're looking at it. So it's very hard to ban them, but I think there's got to be a point where you go, you know, strikes. You can't just sit on one machine for 10 minutes. You imagine, right, we on average about in our gym, in our actual weight area, we have on average about 20 people. Now you imagine 10 of them sitting on a machine for 5-6 minutes in between each set, 3 sets, 15 minutes, some of them do. That's then slowed the gym practically down to 0. We're in traffic now because we can't do anything because all these people are sitting on these machines. So it's becoming a big problem. It's a fix, and I hate it. I hate it with a passion. I've always, when people pick up their phone, they're talking to someone down the road, and you and I know, if the person on the other end of the phone is more important than the person in front of them, just walk out. I've done it. I've done it quite a few times. When I've had people come sit next to me in the gym cafe, and I sit there and I'm drinking my coffee. Hey, hello Gary, how you getting on? They start chatting and then they suddenly go, boop, boop. Oh, sorry, excuse me Gary. I went, before you answer that, can you just go somewhere else? Because I didn't invite them in to sit on their bloody phone talking to someone else. You don't want to talk to me? Bugger off. I don't care. You should start doing the same. Don't let them be rude. If they want to be a fool to this all the time, if they don't want to be a friend no more without other friends being in the group, good luck. Leave. I do. Don't sit next to me on your bloody phone. I didn't invite you to sit here in the first place, and then you start talking and then you bugger and start talking to someone else about something else somewhere else. Go a bloody way. I said enough, eh? You get the picture. And I'm still not drinking beer. Pointing at me. Anyway, that's it in this week's show. I'll just leave you with a short clip to finish, and then maybe next week I don't think I'll get a chance to do food for thought yet, because there's just so much on, isn't there? Most of it is noise. So also the Jim Carrey, I picked that up. I'll just recap. I'll pick that up. I was going, having a quick flick, seeing what's current, looking for the Iran thing that's going on, and then Jim Carrey is now another Jim. What? Well, he's just had fillers. His eyes are the same. That one's an old clip of him in a beard. Why wouldn't he? He's older, you know. And you just get hooked in, eh? And it's just noise, 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 and it's not actually really real. You have a good week. You stay safe. At least you're not in Iran. Think about them poor people in Iran that actually live there, that have been under a dictatorship that America and the UK put in place in the 1950s. Ta-das. Liz, was that all right? I'm still not happy with that bloody chair, mate. Did I swear? Oh, never mind.
Congratulations to Gorton and Denton on achieving official third world status this morning. Enjoy your pedo gangs and Class A drugs. The people you've allowed to settle in your area, who've made no effort to integrate or learn the language, have cheated their way to a by-election victory through block voting and family voting. They've bought you the wonderful gift of multiculturalism. Enjoy all that benefit grifting, cousin marrying, child molesting, drug dealing, fly tipping, burqa wearing diversity. What a rich and vibrant environment you now inhabit. Leader of the Green Party, Zach Polanski, real name David Paulden, whose former career revolved around attempting to make women's breasts bigger by hypnotherapy, the Tit Whisperer, as he's more commonly known, has scammed a town of Islamists, crackheads, imbeciles and under-20s with no experience of the real world, whose brains haven't fully developed yet, into gifting his party a seat in the House of Commons.
Oh, God, blimey.